What camera do I take with me on safari? Are you planning to go on safari and you're not sure what camera to take with you? Are you looking to elevate your wildlife photography and videography game? Well, you're in the right place because in today's video, I'm going to share with you my full camera setup I take with me on all of my safari adventures. Are you ready for the full breakdown? First, intro. Hello wildlife watchers, welcome back for another Travel Insights video. If you don't know who I am, it's nice to meet you. My name is Jeff Heyer and my nickname is Safari Jeff. And that's because my life revolves around going on safari. I live and breathe safaris and it is my life. I am a content creator who loves talking about these topics. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok where I share short form videos talking about conservation, wildlife, and eco-travel topics. You can also find me right here on YouTube where I share weekly adventure vlogs, taking you on the full adventure, showing you a behind the scenes look at my trips. And then occasionally I share videos such as this one where I share travel insights and answer the big questions that get asked of me about my travels. And that brings me to today's video topic, which is probably the #1 question I get asked across the board, which is what camera do I take with me on all these trips? Obviously, a huge part of the safari experience is photographing it, documenting it. For many of us, this is something we love to do. And of course, being a nature show content creator, I rely on having these tools with me to create valuable safari content. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my full camera setup I take with me on all my safaris. It's going to be very straightforward. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. I'm going to show you exactly what I take with me, what's in my camera bag. So let's break it down. Before I start, I just want to mention that all the products I'm mentioning you can find on my Amazon storefront. This is an organized place where you can peruse through everything I'm mentioning in this video. It's a very easy to navigate, comprehensive list of everything I take along. You can find the link to that in the description below. And you won't just find my camera setup there, you'll find all of my other idea lists. I have a safari packing list, a gorilla trekking packing list, Costa Rica adventure list. There's a lot to check out there. All right, let's get into it. So the moment you've all been waiting for, what camera do I take with me on safari? Well, here it is. Drum roll please, this is my Sony A7 Mark III. This is the camera I've been using for the past 2 years that I absolutely love for all my wildlife photography and videography. So there are many reasons why I love this camera so much. For one, it's very lightweight and very compact. It's a mirrorless camera and it's so powerful. This is a pretty popular camera. Some of you watching have probably heard of it before, but for good reason. I love having this because it's ready for any situation. It's an extremely versatile camera. The big reason why I chose to invest in this camera 2 years ago was because of its video quality. So it has an amazing internal video stabilization feature. This is an extremely important feature to have on safari because sometimes when you're out there on game drives, you're on a very bumpy vehicle. It's really difficult to keep your hands steady. You're encountering wildlife sightings that are very unexpected on the fly. You kind of just need to whip this out and start recording as soon as possible so you don't miss those moments. And this has been great for that because you just kind of pull it up, start recording, and it's very easy to track wildlife and keep it very stable. So I love the image stabilization. It's probably my favorite feature about this camera. I love the image quality. It's very sharp, very refined, and overall, it's just been the perfect camera for me. So the camera I started off with was a more entry-level camera. It was the Nikon D5300. I took this along with me on several of my initial safari experiences. I took it to South Africa for a summer, my first trip to Kenya, first trip to Tanzania, and it worked great. But then there reached a point where I really wanted to upgrade my camera. So I did a lot of extensive research, comparing different brands, different models, and I ended up landing on this one, and I'm so glad I did. For one, I made the switch to Sony because, again, for their video quality. I also thought the value was really great. So the camera body itself is valued around $2,000, which again isn't necessarily an entry-level price, but if you're wanting to make that jump, make that investment to a higher quality camera, it's not a huge price jump for the amount of features this comes with. I ended up purchasing it with this lens, which was like an additional $300 or so. It's a 28 to 70 millimeter lens, which is great for landscape shots and more pulled back shots. Some other features of this camera is, as you can see, there's 2 memory card slots, and there's also an external mic input, which is great if you want to attach an external microphone. I love the screen size. It's very big, very easy to look at. What's cool is that if you put your eye up to the scope here, the image will transfer right there so you can have a more shaded, closed view of what you're looking at. And then if you pull your eye away, it'll automatically appear on the screen. So this is the camera I primarily use for my YouTube videos. I'm only recording this YouTube video on my phone because I want to actually have the camera in my hand and show you what it's all about. But usually I film it on this camera, and I'm going to show you some clips of previous videos to show you the difference. And as you can see, it really enhances the video quality. So as a content creator who's always traveling, this has been such a great choice. Another thing I love about this camera is that it's very amazing at capturing images in low light. So oftentimes when you're on safari, some of the best wildlife sightings you'll have will be at dawn or dusk, the beginning or end of the day, sometimes in very low light conditions. And most cameras do not have the ability to capture video without enough light, but this camera does a phenomenal job of doing so. So this camera is great, but if you really want to get some close-up images of wildlife, I'm now going to show you the lens I take with me. This is what I call my wildlife lens. This is how all the magic happens. This is my Sony A70 to 350 millimeter super telephoto APS-C lens. This is a Sony lens, which is a little bit more expensive than the other lenses you can attach to the camera, but it's totally worth it because the quality of it is amazing. The glass is really high quality. And again, it comes with more stabilization in the lens itself. Trust me, the investment is worth it. I've used it for years and plan to use it for years to come. So as you can see, there's an autofocus and manual focus option. And here, this is the switch that turns on or off image stabilization. Super, super nice. And this is what I attach to the camera to capture all the close-up wildlife shots. I love it because the autofocus works amazingly great. Again, when you're on like a shaky vehicle or you're out there in the bush trying to capture wildlife, you just kind of point it up and it really, really stabilizes what you're looking at. Oh, the video quality is so good. I'm now going to show you a few other things I have in my camera setup that I usually have in my camera bag. And one of those things would be this external mic. This is my Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. This is a great external microphone that you can attach right onto the top of the Sony camera. You plug it right in and it enhances the sound quality tenfold. It's great for wind popping. I feel like it really offsets the sound of wind when you're filming outside. Not always, but for the most part, it does a great job at that. You can adjust the sound sensibility very easily right here. The charge lasts a really long time, and this is great for just capturing the ambiance of where you are. If you're in the bush and you want to capture the wildlife sounds, the nature sounds you're hearing, this is great for that. As far as memory cards go, I typically take a 128 gigabyte SanDisk memory card. I have several of these. I've been pretty loyal to SanDisk since I started wildlife photography. They have not let me down. They've been very reliable, very durable, and they hold a lot of storage, great value. So this is what I typically use. This is a great chance for me to show you another cool little gadget you can get. This is a Lightning to SD card camera reader. So how it works is you put your memory card right here, and then you plug it right into your phone. And when you go to your camera roll, you can select which photos you want to take right from the camera and import them right onto your phone. So this is great for transferring data and images, backing up your images while on your travels. People are super impressed by this every single time I pull it out. It's great because if you are the one who's capturing all the photos of the day and everyone wants different photos from that experience, you can just kind of pass this around to everyone. People will pick which photos they want, and then they're all good to go. That's my dog Quinn. She wanted to be in the video. So as far as charge goes, this camera lasts a really long time, but of course on any camera, when you're doing video, it takes a lot more charge and you want to be more prepared with extra batteries. So I have 2 batteries for this camera, and I usually set off on Gave Drive with them both fully charged. And I've never had a day, even on days where I'm videoing extensively, where I run out of battery life. This has been substantial enough to last me a full day of wildlife videography, which is great. For charging them, I got this 2 battery plug-in charger, which is great. So you can charge both of them at the same time. And when you plug it in, there's a little meter here to tell you how charged it is on channel 1 and channel 2. So this is another thing I have as part of my camera setup. Lens wipes, oh my gosh, so important when you're on game drives. There's so many bugs, humidity, all these things just like collecting on your camera lens. It's so important to have those. So I have those in my Amazon storefront as well. And you guys, that's pretty much my primary camera setup. I do have some tripod and gimbal options for you to take a look at in the storefront as well if you're wanting to get one of those. But for the most part, this is what I use. This is what I take with me on the majority of my travels. A lot of the content and videos you see on my pages are filmed with these tools, especially here on YouTube. Throughout this video, I've been showing clips that I've taken with the Sony A7 Mark III over the years. The big thing about this camera is that it's capable of a lot, and I definitely have not unlocked its full potential. I haven't really done a deep dive in all the special features that you can use on this camera. I know they're there, and I need to experiment with it more. There's so much you can do. You can do astronomy photos, night shots, action shots, all sorts of video settings. You guys have hardly tapped into this. Again, if you're interested in taking a look at all these products on Amazon that you can order right away, definitely take a look at my Amazon storefront link. If you have any questions about my experience using these devices, go ahead and drop a comment below. I'd be happy to answer it for you. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful to you, gave you some ideas for how to gear up for your upcoming travels. And if you found this video helpful and want to learn more ways to optimize your safari and wildlife experiences all around the world, don't forget to hit subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right, wildlife watchers, I hope you have fun in safari, safe travels. I'll see you next time.